What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Flight Sim Deck, and welcome to Flight Sim World by Dovetail. They just came out with this, the early release. It's about $25, and a lot of people asked me to share my opinion, so I'm going to do my best to give an unbiased, uncomparable opinion and just speak for the simulator as it is. Now, for me, ever since I got into flight simulation, I always wanted raindrops on the window, because for me, it changes the whole experience. You really feel like you're in a rainstorm. When you drive down the street or you fly in the air, those raindrops hit the window, and it changes everything. It changes things visually, and it's just an immersion thing that I've always wanted. So I was really happy to see that it was done with this simulator, and the first thing I wanted to do was put on the rain effects and see them for myself. So that's what we're doing here. I was able to get all my Saitek stuff set up, the yoke, the rudder pedals, the throttles, without any problems. One issue is the differential brake likes to stick on after you hit it, so I have that problem, but that's just a bug. This is an early release, so I wouldn't worry too much about things like that. But yeah, setup was really easy. For the most part, it detected a lot of things already, so that was no problem. The interior of this plane looks great. This is of course one of the default planes that comes with it, and everything looks great in here, especially again with the raindrops all around the plane dripping off the exterior and the windows. All looks very good. I'm very pleased with how this looks. No complaints. Always noticed the train sims had that effect, and always wondered why flight simulation didn't. You can see a Piper taxiing in the background there. We're over here at Monterey Bay Regional Airport doing a flight. We're just going to go up and fly the pattern and come back around and land. I just want to see how it feels when landing and doing turns to get a real feel for the flight mechanics. Buildings are done with some decent detail. The trees don't look too bad. Runway textures are, they're not so great, kind of bland, but you have to remember this is all default stuff, and eventually developers will come around and spice it up a little bit. But generally with these simulators, by default, they're not too pleasing on the eyes. It's once you get a lot of things loaded in, that's when it starts looking amazing. Aircraft model looks great. I like the shine to it and everything. So okay, we're gonna get rolling out here. I like the feel of the flight mechanics so far here. You have to really fight to get it running down the center line straight. I feel like you have to put in accurate corrections with the yoke and rudder to fight the crosswind. Really like how that feels. I don't think you would be disappointed with the flight mechanics in this. There's a little exterior shot of the gear going up. This is the flyby view. Now the raindrops change direction as you're heading into them, which is also cool, that they don't just stay the same as they are on the ground. That actually switches. Awesome. I don't know, it just changes the whole immersion for me. Some people are going to think I'm crazy for caring about it, but it's something I've personally always wanted in a simulator. It just looks great. Clouds look pretty decent for no weather engine or anything like that. And the ground's not bad either. Like I said, if you get this now, you can get it for $25, which I think is a good deal for this. Probably the biggest thing that might set this sim back is if developers don't jump on and create planes, sceneries, airports. That's what will probably hurt it the most. These simulators need that. They need these third parties developing these things, because the main developer can't do it all. And if there's no market for that, if people aren't into it, it's just gonna stay stagnant. But this is a very promising simulator if none of that goes through. This is not bad at all. See the runway there. I will say it performs better in windowed mode. I'm not doing that here. This is full screen, but if you window it, you will see a significant difference in how smooth it is. I'm just kind of excited to see what they add. This is an unfinished product here, and just seeing the improvements they're going to make and all that. By default, I'm very pleased with it. You know, the more features you can get out of the box, the better. Wish the camera panned a little smoother. I wish a lot of these simulators came with a camera system that lets you change things, smooth out the panning, and do different things like that. I wish we didn't need a third-party software for that, but that's okay. Something will eventually come out. Camera movements are huge for me. That's what I base my whole YouTube channel on, is making little flight sim films, and having complete control over the camera and what I do is crucial to me. Speeding ahead a little bit here, we're going to make our turn onto the runway and see what it feels like to land a plane in Flight Sim World. You know, once this has some good scenery packs and all the add-ins loaded in, I'm really curious to see what it looks like with payware, like a payware airport or a scenery or something. See how it performs. Just won't know. I'm running everything on the medium-high settings right now. I tried ultra, but I got a little lag with that. Medium-high is okay. Probably medium would even do a little better for me. But the scenery looks full enough. I think the buildings sitting around there are populated well enough. You just gotta fly in a good area. I did check out the Telluride Airport in Colorado, and that looked pretty good. The mountains and the surrounding scenery. I'm considering doing a live stream of this and just taking requests, fly wherever people want me to, with whatever settings, rain, sunset. So if that's something you guys would be into, I'll do that later this week. I don't know. That'd be a pretty easy stream to do. So just let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in. And enough people are feeling it, I'll do it. Just coming in, it trims a little slow. Use the yoke to trim. Trim's a little slow, but it's still good. Coming in feels great. You really feel the wind. Like you really feel the controls with the flight mechanics. Other than the brake problem I mentioned, it's not bad. The speed might also bleed off a little slower than it should. Also braking, it takes a lot longer than it should, but that'll probably fix all of that. And there we have it. Gained my first flight hours and the first landing achievement. Or that's either for first landing or that's for first logged flight hours, I'm not sure. But either way, pretty cool stuff. I'm going to exit the taxiway up here and move on to the next thing. Alright, so this is somewhere, I believe in Nevada, I can't remember now. I just wanted to see what it looked like during the daytime, no rain, and the sun out there. A little overexposed on the wing, but that's alright. The cockpit lighting's not bad either. Looks pretty good. Anti-aliasing is not really an issue. The shadow lines look pretty good. I like the mountains, the way they're formed, the mesh on them. It's not bad. Now onto the nighttime stuff. The cockpit is maybe a little too dark along with the outside textures. It'd be nice if we can get some lighting control in the settings. No traffic that I can see on the roads, which is kind of a disappointment. I kind of like seeing that. But then again, I don't know what they're going to add. I have no idea of that. I'm just looking at it for what it is right now. And I'm sure they'll add that kind of stuff. But the night isn't super terrible looking. I just wish it was a little brighter. But that's all. Let's see if there's anything else to the right here. Now, should you purchase this? I mean, I don't know. For $25, I think, yeah, it's worth it. Look, I mean, we can see what happens with this. You know, what's going to be developed with it and things like that. I don't want to steer you into any direction, you know. I think it's worth it if you get it on the early release right now. Just to mess around with it, especially if you don't have anything, if you don't have any other simulators. This would be a good one to start with, I suppose. I think, like I said, the flight mechanics are a little more real and a little more challenging. Now on this landing, I couldn't quite get it trimmed the way I want, so I keep bobbing up and down, you know, going above the glide slope. But I did like the look of it as you approach the runway with those lights. I thought that was done well. But the lighting could just be a little more bright. It's kind of dull at night. And the landing lights also wouldn't work. I tried them on, tried them off, flipped the switch a couple times, and could not get them to illuminate on the ground at this time. But I had fun trying it out. Like I said, guys, let me know if you want me to stream it, and I'll put something together this week, and we can take care of that and see what this thing is really about. We can explore together. Alright guys, thanks for watching. You guys take care. I will see you on the next video.